Are gearing up for spring break, and there are some things you should be aware of before you travel to that vacation destination. Here to bring us spring break travel tips is Morgan Dean with AAA. So Morgan Dean, talk to us about some top U.S. destinations for spring break this year.
So it doesn't feel much like outside in Richmond today. Boy, Mother Nature's not on board, but a lot of sunny destinations, a lot of warm weather destinations. Talking a lot of Florida places. We're talking Orlando, Fort Lauderdale. We've also got some folks thinking about New York City. Always a good time to visit New York City, especially here on the East Coast. But warm weather destinations are really, really popular. A lot of folks getting in the car. Kids have some time off from school. Gives families kind of a week to recharge after not having a lot of time off between Christmas and getting into the summertime travel season.
And we know a lot of people will also be taking those international trips as well too. Talk to us about those destinations.
International trips have been very, very popular over the past couple of years. When we look at some of the destinations for spring break, some of the popular places you would expect to hear: Rome, London, Paris, Barcelona. A lot of people trying to get in some of those international trips when they can. We had a couple of years where a lot of countries weren't open, or you had to go through some travel restrictions with COVID, but now things all back fully open and people are catching back up on some of the things that they may have missed during that time period.
And also to talk to us about some other new travel requirements for some of those international cities.
Yeah, so for folks that are going to the UK, there's now a travel authorization. It's only about €10, so not a lot, but if you are transiting through the country and you're not actually going back through security, say that's your stopover on your way to another European destination, you won't have to pay it. But if you're actually leaving through that security zone, €10, you get that UK travel authorization and can visit family, visit friends, see some of those destinations out there. We just want travelers to know about it. It changed back in January, so something new for them.
Right. And also to talk to us, what are you seeing with people traveling to these destinations by air?
So for the folks that are traveling domestically, airfares up just a few percentage points from last year. International flights also up just slightly. But some of the international things out there with hotels and some other things are actually down slightly from last year. Some actually find a little bit cheaper if they're out there looking for some of those things. But probably going to be a very busy time period in the airports. We remind folks 2 hours ahead of time for domestic, 3 hours for international, especially during spring break and busy time periods like this, where you might have to fight for a little bit of a parking spot and you want to make sure you can get through security in time.
And also to talk to us about cruises as well too. I know they've been very, very popular. I know a lot of people are taking that route as well too.
Yeah, so cruising was that travel sector that didn't immediately come back after COVID. It took a couple of years, but then it took off like crazy. We are looking at 19 million traveling throughout this year, 2025, which would be the biggest cruise travel year ever. It's about 33% higher than what we saw back in 2019 pre-pandemic. A lot of popular destinations across the Caribbean, but we also have people going to Europe and doing river cruises as well as the Adriatic and the Mediterranean and other areas. Alaska also pops up as a very popular place for people wanting to see new places and that. So a lot of people taking those cruises this year.
And also to talk to us about that Real ID deadline that is approaching as well too. I know we got to get ready for that.
Yep, so not part of the spring break, but good to keep in mind because it'll be here before we know it. May 7th is that day. You need to have the Real ID with the little star in the gold circle up in the corner of it on your driver's license to be able to take domestic flights. If you don't have that on your license, you need to have some other valid form of identification, either a passport or a government issued military type ID to be able to go through that. That's going to be a change for a lot of people. Not everybody has Real ID, so start thinking about getting that thing so that you're not being stopped along the way on your travel, because you don't want to have to deal with that.
Oh no, we do not. We do not. So where can folks find more information about all of these tips?
AAA.com. They have questions or want to look at some of those tips on how to maximize their time through the airport and getting through and taking care of all of those things, plus some ideas on packing and some other things that will save you some headaches.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Morgan Dean. For more information and tips, you can head over to AAA.com. One more 12 About Town today coming up after this.